Before we start this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to all of us over here at JOF. And yeah, on to the video.
Alright, hello, welcome back Digimon fans to the JOF Digimon channel. I'm Oritama, and today I'm with the entire JOF Digimon team.
Gang.
I got Pilgermon and Germ in here, and today we're gonna be talking about BT10 and the two starter decks, Ragnalord and Jesmon. And we're just gonna talk about what this set has for us, because we all know BT9 is very stale. At least I can say that for myself. I'm very bored.
Wow.
Guru is really just the most
You're just mad.
annoying deck.
This BT10 is gonna be the greatest one out of all of them.
Yeah, I'm excited for this set. I'm very excited for this set. So we're just gonna give you.
I wasn't before, but now I am.
Oh yeah, fair enough. We're gonna give you a rundown of the cards to talk about each card very briefly, and we're gonna start with the babies. So who wants to start?
Phil.
Pilgermon, tell us about these babies.
All
This
right.
beautiful demi.
Let's just go by them fast. Ready?
All right, go ahead.
Minervamon, cock.
Yep.
Babydramon, cock. Pikmons, whatever.
Yep.
Bosamon, cock. Omnimon, cock. Pokemon.
Just like that, we lost all our attention.
No, we're good.
Pokemon.
Pixmon is a great Digimon card for Crossheart. It's the baby you play in Crossheart.
If you're playing anything else, you're smoking.
Yeah, you facilitate and you draw cards for every single Digimon in your deck. It's a really good card.
Imagine wanting to play the best deck. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, it couldn't be me either.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
And then Baby Doe. Baby Doe is a decent one.
Baby Doe's okay. It helps the blue flare deck out. In ways though, you kind of want to play Upamon. Upamon just, I feel, comes up more than Baby Doe, but during like mid to late game, Baby Doe definitely comes in handy when your opponent can't do anything. They have to bring shit out in order to do it, so it works. But I definitely think you probably want to run Upa.
And here's a debate for me and Isaiah. This card, I feel it's great for
This card is ass.
for the Darkknightmon deck. I mean, you're getting Darkknightmons, you're making them blockers. All turns plus 1k. I don't see what's wrong with this card.
You play Pagumon, you add a card. It's the Pagumon.
But that's if you're trying to kill your guys.
It's up for debate, but it's up to you guys. You let us know down in the comments. What do you think is better, Omnimon or Pagumon? But shall we go into the Reds?
Yeah, we're gonna go into my territory. Shoutmon, the best deck in the format, obviously. So we're gonna be using the new feature on these guys. The new keywords. We got Digicross. It's probably gonna be Digimon Fusion in the English. We don't know what it looks like yet, but for now it's called Digicross. You can take the cards from the field or from your hand, put them underneath when you on-play this card, to reduce it for whatever the Digicross is. So this one says Digicross -2. So for each one, Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Darulmon, Starmons, each one you put underneath it, reduce the play cost by 2. Now it is reducing play cost, so Sakuyamon is a threat.
That goes for any Digicross deck. Psychemon kind of just carries, and then when we get the starter decks, red and black also gets a Psychemon, so that's 3 colors.
Jesmon.
Yeah,
it's
just gonna be annoying. For now, I'll show you a card you can run in this deck that'll make it a little bit nicer. But for now, we would just run with the Digicross. We also have the other effect, Material Save and Normal Save. Now, Normal Save is a non-deletion effect. You take the card and you place it under your tamer. Now, for all of the cross art or any Digicross deck, you're gonna be running a lot of tamers, because those tamers are gonna be the ones housing these Digimon after they die, because they do have an effect on some of them that lets you use them as sources for the Digicross. So essentially, you don't lose your stuff when they die. You get them back, but just not fully. And then Material Save is the same thing as save, except you're grabbing the sources underneath it. So you're not saving the ×4. You're saving the Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Darulmon, Starmon underneath, but you can only save a limited amount. So this one specifies for 2. So you wouldn't be able to save the whole stack if the whole stack died by swinging. Now the whole premise of Shoutmon, rush with these little guys as fast as possible, because your tamers actually help you play them. So we got Taiki. he's your searcher. He's gonna search for a cross art, and then he also is gonna put a cross art underneath him. So you top 4, add one to hand, put one underneath him. So you can build one in your hand, build one under him. And then he also has the effect I was saying earlier. You can use him to tap him, and then under all your tamers, it's not just Mikey, all your tamers, you can grab sources and use it for the Digicross. And then along with that, we got these 2 other really nice tamers. We got Zenjiro. He lets you play a Ballistamon. Ballistamon is a pretty expensive card. I believe it's 4 cost. So you play for free. And then along with that, they all have an effect for when you play a cross art. You can suspend it. So you play this for 3, play the Ballistamon, suspend himself because you played the Ballistamon, gain a memory. So essentially, you're just playing this for 2 at that point. And
So basically, what you're saying is, if you want to play the best deck, play Shoutmon.
Yes.
And Ballistamon's a blocker, by the way, so you pretty much played Ballista for 2 when you also have a tamer out. So, you know, fair and fun card design. But you know, go ahead, continue.
And then we got a similar one with Akari. Her is played the Darulamon. Now Darulamon is also a 4 cost, but he has the effect of on play minus 3k until your opponent's next turn to one of their Digimon. So you can get rid of Psyche with this, honestly. So that'll be your like solution to that. There's another card, but we'll go into that a little bit later. And then when you play a tamer, or not play a tamer, when you play a Digimon, draw 1. Suspend to draw 1. So you have the gain 1 memory, and you have to draw 1. So you're going to be swarming the board with tamers, which is why we run the good old Sunrise.
Why don't we just play Yu-Gi-Oh?
Right.
Since we have a lot of red and yellow tamers, so you could just go pop in a few Sunrise Busters and play it for even less, along with getting some deletion out of it. Like the combo, you could play Sunrise Buster, play Akari. You give him minus 3k for each of those tamers, along with Akari's playing Darulamon, and Darulemon's another minus 3k. So you can that's a little combo there. And then you have one more piece that isn't part of the main cross art, which is Nene's Digimon, Sparrowmon. He's used for the ×5 fusion. This one, he gives you the reboot, so kind of essential, especially for when we go into ×5, since he's a blocker, and security attack. So use the Digicross, put all your sources underneath. Shoutmon, his inheritable is to give it rush, so you can immediately swing with it. And the thing is, if you put all the sources, it's free. It's a 10 cost. Reduce it by 2 for each, and there's 5 sources, so it's free.
Fun.
And interactive.
And you can just immediately swing with it. All their effects go off. So you got Shoutmon with the rush. You got Darulamon minus 2k to opponent's security. You got Ballistamon piercing. You got Sparrowmon with the reboot, and you got Starmons. Draw 1 if you use a Shoutmon. So your main engine at the beginning is going to be evolve on Pikmons with whatever level 3 you get. Shoutmon, Sparrowmon, Pikmons, and then just swing with it immediately. Draw 1. Hopefully you have a tamer on the field by the time you do that. Material save, and just keep going. And then the broken card, which everybody keeps saying it's going to get hit to 1. I don't believe so.
It should.
Is this one.
This whole deck
The
should get hit.
×4. You would think it would be ×5, but no, ×4 is a strong one because he has the one at the end of attack effect. You can take all your sources underneath this guy, delete him, put it under a tamer, and then unsuspend that tamer. So you know how you have to tap Mikey in order to use his effect to grab from tamers? Yeah, you can unsuspend the Mikey, and then immediately play another Digicross. So if you have another one of him, you play him, swing, hopefully he doesn't die, use his effect, put all the underneath, unsuspend, play another ×4, rinse, repeat. And that's why the deck is broken right now, especially that play draw 2, so you can get even more sources. And then you go into this guy for your blocker. Now the shit cards for the deck are these B cards. They use the Digicross of the main one and Beelzemon. And Beelzemon in this deck, I can tell you, ain't the greatest Beelzemon out there, but it's the only one with an inheritable. I'll play trash 3, and then every 10 delete at level 4. It's the most mid effect out there, and then end of attack, gain a memory for every 10 in your trash.
Wow. You're calling out purple right now?
Yes.
Not cool, bro.
Very, very mid effect. And the evolution sources aren't even that or these guys aren't even that great. Like this one becomes a blocker, and then I think you could just you can place one Beelzemon underneath, and then play level 4. It just it's so much extra when you could just rush down with your little guys and then your crosses and then win.
I feel like it's just unnecessary running the bees. You rather just run like everything else to be as consistent as possible.
Yep. And then that extra card I was telling you about. So it does say Starmons for when you're crossing. So I should probably put Starmon. I'm retarded.
You got it, buddy.
There we go. This guy. So you can run 2 of these, and just they have the on play. Give a Digimon minus 1k for each Digimon you have in the field. So you can use these
Get rid of Sakuyamon.
for Sakuyamon, or you can use them as sources since they are Starmons, so they do count. As long as they have the name. They can't have an extra in their name though. So like Shooting Starmon does not count. It has to be just the pure name of what it's asking for. Now sometimes it's going to ask for traits instead, which we'll see with the Bagra army deck later. Oop, wrong set. That's future. We'll look at that later. The rest of the red cards are pretty mid. We got,
Jesmon. Hello? Jesmon is not mid?
Yeah, pretty mid. Dokumon, he's a cross art, but you're not using him for anything. He's mid. Kano Weiss, this guy's a case. Because the Gamamon deck is the definition of mid, but fun.
He gets better in EX3 when Dobrik is out.
Yeah, when Dobrik comes out, this card gets a little bit better, but like... It's a fun concept. I can see somebody making a pretty decent deck out of it, but I tried. I couldn't make it good, so I gave up on it. Maybe again I'll see a top tier deck that's made out of him. I don't know. And then Pile Volcano is just interesting. He's
okay.
It's
Blitz what plus 2k. He's mediocre.
He's just a mediocre.
He's not good.
Do you want to go into Jesville, Jermon?
Yeah, we can go into Jesmon.
Yes.
So we're gonna cut on over to the starter deck for Jesmon.
Jesmon's the best deck in the format. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it now. I'm saying it now. What it can do is just it doesn't make any sense. But Jesmon does have its flaws where if you don't draw the right cards, you're gonna lose. Like there's just it's either you draw your sources or you just watch your opponent play Digimon.
Definitely hurts drawing all your sisters.
Yeah. Drawing all your sisters in 5s and you just can't do anything.
It's just the fact that all the old support makes it way better than it should be.
So I'm pretty sure you don't even run the old Jesmon.
You don't run the old
The
Jesmon.
old
No.
Jesmons.
You definitely play the new structure deck one. Or starter deck.
Jesmon is one of the best Jesmons. He does everything the old Jesmon, but fucking better.
It literally does everything. And the combos that you can go in with your new Sistermon that comes out in BT10, not in the starter decks.
Yes.
Where you can evolve into your
BT10.
Where's the big guy, and then just keep attacking, and then
I think it's the only white card in the deck.
So if you had to put it in a tier list, what would you put Jesmon?
Me? It depends, because there's going to be so many variations of this deck.
Yeah, there's the Genku line, there's the the Mortal Knight line.
There's the GX line.
The thing is, like, if you draw the right pieces for the deck, then, like, you'll probably win. Like, I don't think that you'll lose. But I still say it's tier 1, though, because it's just... It won't be as good as Shoutmon or Blue Flare, but I think it's still in tier 1. I don't think it's tier 2 or
definitely has a lot
tier
of
3 or Rogue.
Like one of the main changes from this Jesmon compared to the old Jesmon is y'all got that Savior Hook that got hit, the one that lets you restand. The whole premise of Jesmon before was just multi-swing with the buff of having sisters on the side, but you're mostly going for that multi-swing. This one is a little bit different. Well, you can run a multi-swing set, or you can run what I like the most, the Sister Swarm set, since a lot of your effects let you play Sistermons. A lot of them.
Yeah. So and then especially with the new option card you get from the starter deck, you have to run it at 4. It's the best card in your deck.
Yes, the 2-drop option card.
So
totally
going into the basics of like explaining the cards, right? So we're gonna start with the Huckmon. Go on, Phil.
Yes. So this Shoutmon, the new one, the one from the starter deck. Let me pull it up here. Oh wow, I can't find it now.
How many of this Shoutmon would you play? When you play as Sistermon, gain a memory and then inheritable. If it has a Huck or Royal Knight, it gets plus 1,000.
Personally,
I think-
for me, I would just like maybe
you don't,
one or two.
I don't think you play 4 of it. I think this is like you play like 2.
Yeah, I would
Maybe
also
3.
agree.
I don't
three
think-
most, but that's...
I don't think you play 3, but
Yeah,
that's pushing it.
It's just the other two Huckmon are just way better. Like we have, like here, let me pull up all the Huckmons. So we got the.
So the
OG
Huckmon you're gonna
one.
play is still the
You play this
the old
at
one
four, no
because it's
question
just
about it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
it's
to play
not
that
fair.
4. You can't not. And then we got little guy over here. This guy's also fairly broken for this deck.
yeah, I'm playing that at 4 as well.
Because reveal top 5 at all Sistermon.
Yeah.
All of them. And you see how many we got now? You see
Yeah,
how
especially if you
many
play,
we
like-
have?
Yeah, you play like all the Sistermons.
So you definitely bump this guy to the 4. The other one could be your little buffer. You can run 2, 3, and then that'll complete all your level 3s. And then you got the new Bauhuck. New Bauhuck's pretty interesting. It's kind of mid in my opinion.
It's honestly just good because it's a Bauhuck. It's a Royal Knight and it has the name Huck, so you can search it.
Well, it's not a Royal Knight. It's a dinosaur, but it has Huck.
Yeah, but it has the Huck in the name, so you can pretty much search it with a Huck.
Yeah, you can search it.
Else.
Oh,
So that's. I'm pretty
But
sure
I don't know. I see why like people would play it, but I don't know if it's like necessary. It does give you the plus 1,000 for all turns.
Like compared to the other one is a deletion effect. So
Yeah.
I'd
this is
probably
actually
run
dumb.
4/4 to be honest. I don't think there's too many other level 4s you're gonna be running. Unless you have a different input on that, Phil.
I mean, we'll have to wait for the deck list now. Can't tell everything right now.
When we make that deck profile coming in the channel
Exactly.
soon, you gotta wait for that. Let's go
Of
into
course.
Savior.
Yes, the new Savior. So as we saw with old Savior,
You obviously play the
boy
one.
got hit.
Why did they hit the old one?
You
It
know
was
why
fair.
they hit the old one. So
It was fair.
its
It was a fair
Digivolving
card.
effect is decent. You play a
It was fun
Sistermon
and
for free.
interactive.
It's when attacking was the problem. If you have a Sistermon, unsuspend. Now Jesmon was doing a lot of damage by himself in general, and then they gave him that effect. So once this guy got hit, Jesmon shattered into pieces. Didn't exist anymore. Some people try to run it with different stuff, but it just went to shit.
Try to run it
because
with
of this
like
card.
Chimera and all that.
Yeah, you definitely do run for the new one though.
Yeah, the new one is.
Yeah, you need it.
When it,
You can attack unsuspended with it, but
Yeah, you let your Jess attack unsuspended. That's dumb.
Because yeah,
And then
so like when Digivolving, this Digimon gains this effect, by the way. So
yeah.
the Jesmon, the new Jesmon has Blitz. So I think can I look that up too? Jess.
Yeah, the starter deck one.
No, I gotta look up. Yeah, the new Jesmon has Blitz. So you can Digivolve into the new Savior as much as like, just make sure you have enough memory, and then just Blitz afterwards, and he gains that effect. So you can swing into unsuspended. The only thing he won't get is Piercing. I think that's actually in the X-Antibody, right?
That's an option card as well.
Oh no, it's the GX that gets Piercing. Where's the GX at?
You just passed it.
Ah, here it
Go
is.
up.
Yeah, this guy gets Piercing. This guy is a whole case. We'll go into him in a bit. But yeah, so the new Savior Huck is pretty good. And then he has the inheritable, play a Sistermon.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this deck.
So then we got, before we go into Jesmon, we got his sidekick here, or his master. This Genkumon, I personally really like this Genkumon.
This is where like the Jesmon decks kind of like differentiate, because you could play the straight
Yeah,
Jesmon
there's
line.
a lot of different
Yeah.
variants of the deck.
You could play like the Genkumon line where you just spam sisters, and then Genku just helps you spam even more sisters out.
Also, for the Jesmon, you don't play the new baby that you get in the starter deck. I think that baby is just useless.
Yeah,
play the
it's
old
like
Greymon.
+1.
You definitely play the Greymon,
Yeah,
the old Greymons where you
yeah,
draw one
+1K.
when attacking.
Yeah, the
which
old
have 6K
Gurumon is
more.
when 6K draw one. That's way better. Oh, like real quick in the starter deck, this is the card we we're talking about, Solarmon. Yeah, this guy is.
Oh, yeah.
They specifically
You
made these
definitely-
cards to counter
Yeah.
the. the
I'm not gonna tell you guys
Digicross.
all of it, but you definitely do play this. I'm not gonna tell you how many. Whatever. You play 4 of this.
it's up to you. See how your meta is.
Yeah.
We were
this
It also
talking
depends
about
on your locals, like if what your
Yeah.
locals looking like, and
See, y'all know how much I love Minervamon, so give him this card. This card was a nice addition to Minervamon, since he is a cyborg.
Let's talk about the new sisters.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
real quick, Yanku. So again, Digivolving effect, play another sister. So it just keeps spam the board with sisters. And then when you play Digimon with an effect, you Digivolve one on up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon. So I feel like he's a good control. Screws over your opponent's boss monster. He has an X-Ante, but we'll go into that in a second once we go to the X-Antes. But real quick, we're gonna cover all the sisters. So I'm just gonna look up Sistermon. I have all the sisters come up. So people know about the old sisters. We got the one that gives them blocker. We got the plus 2K.
You have the gain 1,
draw 1. You have the awakens, recover 1.
You also have the recover 1. Yeah.
This one was mid. This one wasn't the greatest.
You don't play her. Skip. You don't play her. Keep going.
Yeah.
The new Sistermon CL that's coming in the actual.
The one in BT10 is, I think, the best Sistermon.
Ridiculous. Yeah. On play.
Yeah, it does
Made Digivolve
so
into
much.
a Royal Knight, so you can just end turn by playing this and then Digivolve. Well, you do have to pay the evolution cost, so be careful about how much you're giving your opponent. But the thing is, when it Digivolves, gain a memory, so reduces it by 1. So you can go into your line pretty fast if she's on the field. And then we got these 2 ones that are coming in the deck itself. This one's gonna be changed to a.
Yeah, it's an alternate art of the.
This one's gonna be a CL. It's not gonna look like her. It's gonna look like this one. When we get it.
But with the new Jesmon, obviously you swing with Jesmon, play the Sistermon, you play this Sistermon, and then on play of this Sistermon, you go into your other Jesmon, and it doesn't seem fair.
This one
if you draw the right cards, if you draw the right cards, it just does not seem fair.
This one lets you trash your sisters, because you can play the sisters from your trash as well. We didn't mention that. You can play it from the trash as well, not just your hand.
That's also something that I noticed at the Jesmon. A lot of the cards now say go to trash, but they also say, like, the new cards is you can play stuff from your hand or trash now.
Say you try to use an option card to delete your opponent's Jesmon. If this is on the field, it has decoy. So it's just.
This card's actually.
It's going to be really interesting. Yeah. You'll definitely see a gameplay on this on the channel.
You'll see a lot of this card too in a lot of other decks, because I know in like my BL start, you play this card. This card's very good because of that discard 1, draw 2. That is one of the best effects that you could have on a Digimon.
I think you just play this in like purple decks, like period.
Yeah, like the alternate effect may not come up all the time unless you're like playing like Swart or something like that.
You don't really care about the decoy much. But
you care about that on play, yeah. It's like how people were running searchers.
Yeah.
Like in decks that aren't mothers, so like you can do that with this card. The big card is this paragraph text.
The best card one of your best cards in the deck, if not the best card in your deck.
Yeah, so it's one of those. It's like a memory booster. It has the delay effect. It's a searcher.
Yep.
You just play that for 2, top 3, add 1 of any of the Jesmon or sister line, and then the delay effect is really good.
Yeah, instead of gaining a memory, you get the your reduced cost of playing one, and then the security effect. Obviously, reveal the top 3, and then add a Hookmon or Sistermon. And then 1 Royal Knight. It's just a lot for a 2 cost.
It's literally the exact same effect.
It's so much for a 2 cost. It's so much for a 2 cost.
The option card they gave it is kind of mid. This card ain't the greatest.
Nah, I don't think you run this. I don't think you even.
No, you don't run that at all.
It's kind of just a flavor card. Like
you don't run that at all.
Jesmon's gonna take care of any problem you have, and then you have the Aus generics, the 1-drop, give your Jesmon +2 and piercing.
Oh yeah, fucking.
Yes.
We have this attack on suspended.
Judgment of the Blade, I think you might still play. It's not as necessary since you're level 5.
It just depends. Yeah, it just depends on your build, to be honest. Again,
you can go full aggro set. You can go swarm set. Now, this is where the big divider comes into play. The 2 Jesmon forms that we got, which when we saw it, we're like, okay, they gave it an X-Antibody. Why are they still giving Jesmon support? And then we're like, oh, they gave it a form beyond X-Antibody. For what reason? I have no clue. So we're going into the X-Antibody. Oh, it does have piercing. My bad.
Nice.
What? It's a 0. What is this?
Yeah, you go into your Jesmon for free.
What? right.
That's why you play the other Sistermon.
It's-
And then
so
with that
it's,
Sistermon, you go
it's,
into this Jesmon. It's
so
so much.
dumb.
It's gonna be so fun.
Alright, so you have that when Digivolving play a sister and or trash, and then if Jesmon is in its evolution sources, or if you have a Sistermon in play, so you don't even need the Jesmon, you can evolve, you can use this as your Jesmon. You get plus 2k, and it can attack unsuspended. Why? Why would you give it this? Yeah.
What do you mean why? Everyone
Saber
loves
already does
Jesmon.
that.
Make Jesmon good again.
Make Jesmon good again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
can
then-
you just by reading the card, you can see what Jesmon X-Antibody is capable of. That card is very, very strong.
Why
It's
is it
suppressive as hell.
0?
It makes any boss monster your opponent has, you could just kill it, and your Sistermons can just kill it. If you have weenies like Psychemon's on the board, or if you're versing Bloomlord really, really takes a hard L against Jess, because no matter how hard Bloomlord's gonna
It
set
says
up, Jess
all! I
Yeah,
didn't even
it
read that. It says all can attack unsuspended. Why needs a rally card? This guy says rally. All your guys can swing.
Yeah.
That's
now we go into
ridiculous.
GX. Now actual
And then
one.
GX. Yeah.
Here, let me pull up GX by himself.
Level
so everyone
7
can see it.
Jesmon.
Yeah, Phil, talk about your level 7 GX. Well,
Now there are variants of the deck where you don't even play this again because there's like a bunch of different ways. You don't have to play the variant where you play this deck, but if you do, I mean, do you not see what it does? So you put the level. So when you Digivolve, you can place a Royal Knight. Any card that has Royal Knight, any card in its traits
13 or less.
that has
Gotta be
13 or
low
less
Gotta be
of
low
play
fair.
cost under this card,
From your hand or trash.
and then
So give me
yeah,
your trash.
hand or trash. Yep.
Remember, just a low fair. Continue.
And then you get to activate the effect.
When Digivolving effect.
And then when you're
Any-
Digivolving, also you get Blitz.
It's so
And then
dumb.
all turns, when the Digimon has Royal Knight in its traits, you gain Piercing, Blocker, and also Security Attack
for each
card.
For each.
Each.
So
for
you
each
Digivolve
card.
this on your So you have Jesmon, you go into X-Antibody, you go into GX, its effect to put another Royal Knight, that's 4 Royal Knights in total that you have in that stack.
Yep.
What the hell?
So again, reading all these cards, yes, Jesmon it just looks insane, but there's also like times where you're gonna break.
There's
Like,
a lot of
it's just-
times where
it's
you're
inevitable,
racing against
like, you're-
yourself.
And also
Yeah,
he has his, he has his own,
you're gonna break.
He has his own option
So-
card too, just because. So this option card, you can play it. It's a white card. You can play it if you have a Royal Knight. So you're gonna be using it when you have your GX or Jesmon on the field. Unsuspend it, and then if it has GX, activate the when Digivolving effects. Ah!
Again, it.
It's a very.
Just hope not to
very
break,
strong
but you're
card.
going to because it's Jesmon. Jesmon always breaks. But if you don't, then I
This
hope your
deck is
opponent has fun
absurd.
watching you do so much.
Yep.
This deck is so absurd. All right, we're gonna touch up on Blue Flare real quick before we go into Ragnalord.
Alrighty.
Oh, wrong set. I keep. One day, I love the set so much. One day, over here.
All right, so let's
Blue
just get
Lamp.
Blukomon. This card isn't necessary. It's just another 2-drop.
This,
So we'll just skip
5K,
right.
not that bad.
No, we'll just skip right in. All right, so we have the Blue Flare. Blue Flare. I am so excited for this deck. This deck is titty.
This
So
deck's
let's get into the
stupid.
cards. Whole point of Blue Flare is you want to pretty much stop your opponent from playing the game. So it's like
Nice.
hybrid,
Fun
pretty much. So
But if you
and
don't,
interactive.
this deck doesn't do much deletion. I will say, it just makes your Digimon
Done.
useless.
pretty much.
Yeah, it just stuns
So
you,
we're gonna start with Gaussmon. He is the level 3. You play this at 4, obviously.
of course.
He's on deletion. You could play a level 4 Blue Flare from your traits suspended without playing its memory cost. We're gonna go into the level 4s you can play from.
We got
We
three
have
of them right
Greymon.
here.
We have Greymon. This card is amazing. Reveal the top 4 cards. Add a Blue Flare or anything, or Blue Flare in their traits. Your Tamer,
Ooh,
which is
fun.
Kiriha, has
Yep.
Blue Flare in the traits. Your option card has Blue Flare in the traits. You can add almost anything in your deck with this card. He's really good also because if you have a Kiriha, you don't have to search. You can add the Metal Gray, which is your boss monster, from your trash, so it helps you recycle in worst case scenario. And then just like Jerem was saying, he has the on deletion save, very important. You're gonna need that. Inheritable, if he has blue flare in the traits and 2 or more Digimon are in your opponent's board, unsuspend. Very, very broken.
Now again, you're stunning your opponent, so they will have to be playing more Digimon. It basically forces your opponent to play more Digimon, so you will get that effect. I won't lie to you. You will get that effect.
Most of the time, you're gonna get that effect.
And then before we talk Decker, we're gonna go into Mailbird because that's the other half.
Yeah, Mailbird is another very strong card. Mailbird says if you have a Kiriha in play, you can return a Metal Greymon from your trash into your hand. Again, helps you recycle your boss monsters, because when your boss monster dies, you don't have a way of adding them back other than Greymon and Mailbird. But it also has an effect that says if you don't have a Kiriha, you can just play one for free. So,
yeah, you just and the thing about Kiriha, right? The difference between Kiriha and Mikey. Mikey's a searcher, right? So like, they're both the generals for their decks. Mikey's a searcher, right? He has that effect. You can use his sources. Kiriha, he's a 2 to 3.
Right, which the deck needs. It definitely needs that 2 to 3. And you love to.
And he got the same effect as Mikey. You can use them as the sources.
Right, yeah. Then you have the last level 4 in the deck, which is Deckergermon. Deckergermon is insane. Deckergermon says, on play, draw a card. Then for each of your opponent's Digimon, draw a card. So, I say this again.
Guess what format we're in? A swarm fucking format.
Exactly. So, if you're going up against Jesmon, if you're going up against Bloomlord, if you're going up against Bagra, or anything that really much pushes out a lot of Digimon on the board, you're drawing an additional card for each they have. So you could potentially draw 6 or more cards with this fucking card alone. It is insane. The Inheritable just gives you plus 1,000. It doesn't really matter, because I do play Spicy Tech, which make sure you come back to the channel so you can check that out.
Ooh, I don't even know about this one.
We do have a video about it. We got a video out there. We got
you gotta check out.
We got this. It's BT10 too. It's not BT11. It's BT10. So if you want to see it in action, go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna put that in the title card in the top corner. Yeah.
So we have the Brachiomonn. This is just a blue-black level 5. It's just a vanilla. We could just skip it. Digitamas. Cameron, if you're watching this is for you. This card sucks, and I hope you die.
We have a friend that's just devoted to Jellymon. He refuses to build anything other than Jellymon.
Right.
So he's craving this card. He has max rarity so far, so he's gonna get the 4 alt arts.
Of course. So it's a very pretty card, and I'm sure it's gonna get even better when Digimon
it'll get support. It definitely will.
But as of right now, it's okay. It's all right.
And then going into your boss
Metal Greymon. This is
your boss monster. Yay!
The fucking card. So first you have Material Save 2. Now, before we even talk about the Material Save 2, you look at the Digicross and it says Greymon and a Mailbird. So pretty much when you play this guy out and he dies, you save both Greymon and Mailbird.
It's just dumb.
So you save both.
Cross Art said you can't save them all. This one makes it so you can save it all.
So on play, this Digimon gains Rush. That's the best card. This is one of the best effects. Then, if you Digicrossed 3 of your opponent's Digimon with the number of Digi-Evolution cards less than or equal to cannot attack or block until the opponent's end turn.
And that's where the stunning begins.
Right. So the only problem this deck has is that you need to have more sources than your opponent's Digimon or equal. If not, you can't stun it. So in certain matchups, like Alphamon, if it's still a thing, Alphamon has like 7 sources. It's almost impossible to get Metal Gray to have 6 sources underneath to stop it.
But I do feel that's where you have Mailbird to supplement.
Right. The Mailbird allows you to also stun. It doesn't matter anything. It can stun
It just
anything.
says stun. There's no repercussion. Well, you have to have 2 Digimon on the field, but yeah.
Yeah, but your opponent's gonna have to. But this is your boss monster. This stops all of your opponent's weenies, and if not, your opponent's level 5s. This card is extremely powerful, especially when you match it up with a certain card, which again, watch our video on the JOF channel. You'll see it in action. You'll see what I'm talking about. So continuing, we have Cyberdramon. This is another level 5 for the deck. This one you don't play too much.
For now.
It has a hand effect that says if you have a Digimon Blue Flare in its traits, by paying 3 memory, you could put this underneath it and then unsuspend. The problem with it is that you have to pay 3 memory. It's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
If you're playing Metal Gray for 3, because you Digicross 2, and then playing this, that's 6 memory. You're not always guaranteed to have 6 memory. So it's definitely like a one of you want to play.
It's
It's
a
just
play.
not
It's
that
like it's a flex spot. That's what I'll
Yeah.
say. It does use the hand effect, which not them. I think him and Rajin, Fujin, Sujin are the only ones that have hand effects.
As of right now, yeah.
Which I hope they don't span that out too much, because having a hand trap is kind of annoying. And then so you saw how with
Train
Cross
Ash.
Art we had these shitty extras. They decided to give Bluefair a good one, so.
So we talk about our Decker Greymon. Now, remember how I was telling you guys about the long Digimon? This card solves that by himself. You have the Inheritable that stops 1, and if your opponent has another long that you can't stun, this will do that for you. So first it has Armor Purge. So you can go Metal Gray, swing a security, use your Greymon Inheritable since your opponent has 2 or more, swing again, then go into Decker, which has Armor Purge. So if this dies, that's fine, because you still have your Greymon. But on play and when Digivolving, you could place a blue flare in its traits from your hand or from your tamer under his sources. Then
So-
if it has Decker in its sources,
Real quick, going on that tamer effect, it doesn't need Kiriha. Kiriha can be suspended.
yeah, it just says tamer.
It just says tamer, so you can just grab it if Kiriha is suspended.
One of your opponent can't attack or block, so it pretty much does Mailbird Inheritable, but he does it on his own. You can Digicross if you need to. I believe he's a 5 if you do Decker and Metal Gray. So
So cheap for your boss monster.
it's definitely a good card to have.
And then going into Isaiah's favorite card.
Yes, Reclusiumon. In EX3, when we'll get there later on in the set, or later on in the Digimon. I tried running this in a fish deck. We're not going to get into it. For now, it's just
the best card.
For now,
Let's keep it exclusive. Let's not talk too much about it.
Yeah. Well, it's a decent card. You can play.
It'll come up. You'll see it again.
Cannon.
Yes, exactly. And then we have Cannondramon. This is for that level 5.
He's actually pretty interesting.
He's shit. We're gonna skip
do you
it.
mean?
He's shit.
Skip.
When
Next,
Digivolving on
next.
suspend, when
He's
his
shit.
Digimon
Next.
leads an opponent's in battle on
Next.
suspend.
Anyway.
He's an unsuspend build.
All right, now we're gonna talk about Sakuya. We'll just do a brief.
Yeah.
Super brief Sakuya.
Sakuya does get a lot of support in this set. The support is needed,
Sakuya.
really.
To actually make it playable.
Yeah. Running into the
it's-
Renamon.
You have a new Renamon that searches a plugin and a Yellow Tamer, which is great. That Renamon you're gonna run it for. You have
You have the QB. QB has an actual choice. You can return a plugin from your trash. So if you use the plugin, you can get that back. Or by trashing a plugin, draw 2. So you can build up your hand if you have too many extra plugins. It also gets Talmon. It basically gets the whole line. Talmon,
Yep.
this effect is really good. You may play an option card with plugin. So you can use this to play your Super Evo and then go into your boss monster for free.
check it out on the JOF Digimon channel.
Yes, we did a video on this deck too. So go ahead and check that out. Title card.
Sakuya Maid Mode. This card is crack. This card is disgusting. This card will be played. You will be seeing this card. This card is unfair. I don't know what else to say about this card other than it's broken.
Seems fair to me.
So main mode actually enables Sakuyamon to do a cycle. It has a recycle sort of effect. So you go into your Sakuyamon, you do your stuff with Sakuyamon. Sakuyamon's main effect is unsuspends. So you finish doing your stuff, you unsuspend, and then you go into this bad boy here because it is a 2 cost on a level 6. So you can just Digivolve into it. It says that when Digivolving effect, you can use an option card with plugin, so you can use another option card. And then, instead of trashing it, you recover using it. You place it at the top of your security. Now, all the option cards with plugins, they have pretty good security effects. So, you can get a nice effect off with that. But the big, I hate it that they gave it to this, but when attacking, you can Digivolve this Digimon into a Sakuyamon for 1.
That's
Hence,
where the cycle comes
restart
into play.
the cycle.
Yeah, it's pretty much cycle. Make your
Fun
Sakuya
interactive.
Yeah, there's nothing much to say about it. If you want it more in depth, watch our video on it. That's all we could say, really.
Another Digimon that got a little bit of love in this set was Pulsemon.
Yeah, I mean, we could just go into brief with Pulsemon. The deck is still like mid. It's not that bad.
It's a
definitely
fun deck. It's a fun deck.
This Pulsemon gives it, as long as you have 3 or less, I believe, you gain blocker, which is, it's fine. And then you have Achillesmon, which if you have 2 or fewer security, you recover 1. And then when attacking, if you have 3 or more, one of your Digimon gets -5.
Well, that effect isn't that bad because like Pulsemon, the whole thing is like having like 3 or less
Yeah,
to get their effects and stuff. So
controlling your security around 3. You do have a Boltmon that lets you unsuspend Pulsemon, the Pulsemon line. So
it's just the problem when you face with it is that you gain a lot of advantage when you're at exactly 3. However, if you're at 2 or if you're at 4, you only gain half the advantage of the deck, what it's trying to do. And if you're less than 3, it's very hard to recover because you can just go into the BT6. What's his name again?
Kazuchi.
Kazuchi, right?
Yeah.
You can go to Kazuchi, go back to 3, but all your opponent has to do is swing into it, and then there you go.
Yep.
So it's okay. It's a fun.
It'll just be like a fun little, not even rogue, but just a little fun deck that you can play.
We also got some quick flavor cards. We got Tinkermon. You could use this in Bloomlord. We'll go into that in a bit.
You won't.
You got shit.
You have Shortmon, which is cake. No one cares. You have Darkmon.
Darkmon I might get a deck in the future. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's security attack minus the deck,
which is pretty good, honestly. It's actually not that bad.
So we're just gonna skip over Venusmon and talk about how.
Omnimon shit, Sanzomon, another part of it, and then it's Sanzomon's level 6 Venusmon. This, I don't really know too much about the deck. I see people playing it. I think they use it in security control. But
I will tell you now, if your locals has security control, expect this card. This card is explosive. Anything with security attack cannot attack.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Or no,
Oh,
sorry.
and then
Digivolving and when attacking don't activate. Sorry.
Yeah, so you don't get your effects when you Digivolve or when you're attacking.
Basically, this card is just a block.
It's best. It's the best card for security control that you could do.
It's pretty good. And its whole line gives it security attack minus, so you can just make your opponent not do anything.
You won't even see it. You'll probably just keep seeing the Maykumon line because of the purple cards, which are just extremely strong.
And then you're just gonna go into this.
And then with this, anything, by the way. So if you have any Digimon that has security attack +1, the Digivolving and when attacking will not trigger. It says security attack.
So it could be the -1, it could be the +1, it could be any of those.
Fun.
And interactive, right?
Now, for the green cards, you think these are flavor cards, but Bloomlord uses a lot of the flavor cards.
Yep.
So we got 2-drop Mushroomon. He's a 2-drop, 3K.
I'm pretty sure you play that because it is a 2-drop.
Yeah, you play 4 of them.
You play 4 of them, yeah.
Extremely strong because he's a 2-drop.
And Goramon, they're trying to give him a deck like Kano Weiss and like.
It'll come in the future.
Yeah, it'll come.
For now, it's not a thing. Kuamon, this is for the.
You play this in Grandis.
The Grandis deck.
Do you like this card? Do you like this card in Grandis, Phil?
I do.
And when it attacks, delete.
Because the problem with Grandis is like there wasn't a lot of ways to like have a lot of memory. Like obviously you had the memory boost that you played, and you also had the Weedmon that you gain a memory when you do the
first, yeah.
Yeah. But you do play this. I haven't really looked into Grandis that much in BT10 because I've been excited for other decks, but I'm probably gonna try to make a build around it.
Definitely.
Definitely
want to probably run 3 or 4 of this.
And you also have the X-Antibody version of it too, so.
Yeah. And we're going into the Bloomlord support.
Alright, let's go into Bloomlord real quick. This is another
seems fun. Bloomlord seems really fun, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Bloomlord seems very
essentially, it's a swarm the board without using it as a swarm. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole point of Bloomlord is you pretty much want to bring out your vegetation, plant, and fairy Digimon out. Use those as fodder for Bloomlord. And this deck is very explosive in the meaning that your level 5s have Digi-sorption, which that makes all of your Evos for free. So we're going to talk about the cards you play. First, you have Red Veggie. And Palmon, sorry. You have Palmon. Palmon, you play this at 4, no doubt. Reveal the top 4, add a plant, vegetation, and 1 card with fairy. So you can add any of your 3, 4s, and 5s, and then the fairy is your Bloomlord, which is a 6.
The fairy can also go into tinker if you want to run that
You're
sort
not
of.
playing it. You're not playing
I
it. The
don't
card
know. I,
shit.
No,
I still
yeah,
think it's
you're
pretty
not.
good.
No,
Security
you're
Tech
not
minus
playing it.
1.
No, it's yellow. You're not playing it. It's a brick in your hand. There's no reason to. Just don't worry about it.
Red Veggie, just another
Red-
1 cost fucking level 4.
It's a 1-cost Evo that's a 3-drop. It is extremely strong for the deck. You have Sunflowmon. Its purpose is to facilitate your spam. So you pretty much tap herself to bring out a level 3. Then you tap your level 3 to Digizorp to your 5 on top of Sunflowmon. And you can kind of see how it's happening.
Oh my god, Sunflowmon is so broken.
It is very,
this is one of
very
the
strong.
strongest cards on the deck. That and a
So
Jar.
basically, in this set, if you guys haven't noticed, your level 4 is going to be your best monster.
Yeah, a lot of
Your
level
fours are
4s are really strong.
All your level 4s and 5s are going to be your best monsters.
And real quick, you know what Blissamon does. Wenza Gamma, he's part of the Gammamon shit.
Gives it piercing.
Yeah, piercing. Simbang Angoramon stuff, don't care about it. Cherrymon, he's a Digisorption. I don't know if you play too many of these in Bloomlord.
He's interesting because all
Which one?
the other Cherrymon.
Oh, yeah.
He's interesting because all of your other Digizorption level 5s do it for free. This is the only one that doesn't. This one you have to pay 1, which I've noticed in testing, it comes up a lot where you just want to bring it for free. You don't really want to pay memory. Its effect isn't too bad. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, you could switch the target to suspended. So
Yeah.
if your Bloomlord is suspended for some reason and they're trying to kill it, you can just say, nope, go attack my level 3. Or they can just attack him. But you can, again, revert it. It's only once per turn. It's not that bad, but it's a 1-drop. Maybe
Jartar.
1. A Jartar, this card. This card right here.
Best card for Bloomlord.
This card is Sunflowmon on crack. So you pretty much,
Yep.
it's the exact same effect. You can play
Well,
a...
except it's a main effect, not a one Digivolving effect, so...
It is. That's true. That's true. Be mindful of that. You can suspend it, play a Digimon, Plant, Vegetation, or Fairy with 3,000 DP or less. You can play Sunflowmon with this card. You can play Sunflowmon if you need to, but... and the important part is the inheritable. When you play a Digimon, or when one of your Digimon becomes suspended by effect, gain a memory. When you Digizorp, Digizorp is an effect to activate. To suspend, this card triggers. It's extremely strong.
Now, you're probably questioning right now, if you don't know about Bloomlord, why you're spamming all these guys out. Well, Bloomlord himself gains so many buffs from having suspended Digimon. Now go into that, Isaiah.
So when Digivolving, first, suspend one of your Digimon. Usually you want to suspend himself. Then, for each of your suspended Digimon that contains Plant, Vegetation, or Fairy, gain 1 memory. If you gain 2 or more with this effect, unsuspend and he gains piercing. Your turn.
Absurd.
For
The
every
memory gain
2
is the big part, because he's a 4-cost Evo. If you
Yeah.
have 3 on the field, he's a 1-cost Evo. If you have if you have other stuff to reduce it even more, it's absurd.
For every 2 of your suspended Digimon, he gains plus 2,000 in security attack. That is extremely strong. In
So
early
you have
game,
piercing and then security attack. So
pretty much.
So essentially,
Yeah.
you build up your board with all these guys. You don't swing with them. You
That's
use
what
them to
Green
help
does.
each other evolve, and then you do your damage with Bloomlord. And then the next turn, your opponent has to get rid of everything. Because if he doesn't get rid of anything, they're just gonna all swing on you and kill you.
Pretty much. But again, it's so easy to build up in Bloomlord because all you need to do is bring out a 3, and then from there you can go. You can bring out your 3, go to Sunflow, tap Sunflow, bring out another 3, tap your level 3 you just brought out, go into a 5 for free. You see what I'm saying? The deck is extremely strong. Very easy, very good.
It's a very easy deck to understand. And then you got a little bit of support with its secondary level 6 you can run.
You have Lotusmon. This card,
But
honestly...
don't you play Hydramon?
Hydra, yeah.
Hydramon is.
I think you play
more
Hydramon
support
next
that's
time we
coming
play
out
the
in.
other one.
It's coming out in EX3.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, it's EX3. Yeah, Hydramon makes the deck way better, but right now we're only getting Lotus.
Yeah.
Lotus is okay. You probably will see 1, maybe 2. I personally, when you see that on the channel,
It's just
I don't-
expensive.
Exactly. You don't gain memory with this. The problem is it's a 4-drop and you don't gain memory. So when you bring her out, yeah, she does gain the effect of all of your... Every guy you bring out gains on deletion, gain 2, and return 1. But it's kind of easy to work around. They just have to kill this or de-digivolve it.
And she's weak.
It's just not that worth it going into her. When we upload my Bloomlord profile coming soon when we get BT10, look forward to that. You'll see this, not spicy, but you'll see a tech that I play that I think is way better than Lotusmon. We have the level 5 Lamortmon. This is again for that Angoromon deck. And just hold on to him. Don't worry about it. And then we have Griffonmon.
Flavor.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright, before we get into Twilight, I'm actually going to backtrack real quick to Ragnalord. Touching up on the second starter deck. So, little tip out there, we're actually getting a dual pack starter deck for both of the starter decks. You get a lot of good stuff in it. It is a Walmart Target exclusive. And it's coming out on, I believe, it's still the 14th for that or 7th for that?
I'm not too sure.
14th.
I think it's the 14th. But yeah, check your Walmart, check your Targets, because it's pretty cost effective. I think it's like, what, like 60 for it or 30?
50, I believe.
60. It's 60.
Yeah, but you do get a lot of good stuff. You get some custom sleeves, you get some really nice cards, some reprint of cards that are really good. You get some good stuff in it, so look out for that. But we're gonna talk about Ragnalord. This is my deck. This is my favorite, one of my most anticipated decks. So the whole premise is it's a Jogress deck, just like Mass Day. For those of you who dealt with Mass Day, getting into the baby, you have to run this baby. When you play another Digimon with Legend Charms by an effect, gain a memory. This whole deck plays Digimon by effects. It is actually one of the only decks that lets you get a level 5 out from an effect, which is insane to me. You have the two babies. They have the same effect except for they're inheritable, which is when you they all have on plays. So you're gonna run the old Ragnalord stuff too, because the old Ragnalords are your babies are your searchers. So you run those along with these guys. These guys have the on play. You can place it under one of your Digimon with Legend Arms, or one of your black Digimon, but you're only going to be running Legend Arms, really. So you place it underneath it, and then if you do that, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a 7 cost or less with Legend Arms, play it for free. If not, add it to your hand. So the whole premise, you want to try to hit one of the level 5s, Duramon or Ragnalordmon, because they're both 7 costs, so you can just hard play the level 5 from that, which is really insane to me. And then you could Digivolve it to your level 6, and then they have this, which is that effect that the Godomons have, where you can DNA Digivolve even when your turn's done. We got Zuba Iga. He's alright. I feel this one's better, so I'd run 4 of this, 2 of this, and then 2 of the old one, the old Tia Luda. But he has the on-play effect, place it underneath. If you do so, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k. So, you can get some board control with it. Tia Luda, he has the effect, if you place it underneath, to give that Digimon reboot. That's why I feel this one's better. And then he has the inheritable, give it blocker. This one inheritable, delete a Digimon. So one's a deletion, one's an offense, one's a defense. That's the whole gimmick of this deck. One's defense, one's offense. Duramon, this one's the better level 5 in my opinion. He has the your turn effect when you Digivolve into Legend Arms or Black Digimon, reduce the Evo cost by 1. And then him and Rajan, they both have the same effect. Rajan's main effect though is different. Opponent's turn, he can't be deleted by effects, card effects. So your opponent can't hit it with a Gaia Force or use a card's effect that deletes it. He protects him from that. And then going into the big boys, these guys can be your boss monsters.
Wow. So you're just gonna skip over Chikurimon.
That's fucked up, bro.
I don't like him because he ruins Crossheart. This is the other card we were talking about. Both decks get one. All players can't reduce play costs. Again,
It's gonna be really good in this format, guys.
you need
Play
to run
4.
these
Make
guys.
sure to have your playset of the black one, the red one.
And the purple
It's gonna be
one.
really important. Yep.
But if you're running yellow, green, or blue, eat dicks. So, going into Duramon first. Duramon's a 3 cost Evo. I'm preferencing that because the other one's a 4 cost, but with good reason. So this guy, he has the all turns effect. When you place a card underneath him, gain 3k in security attack. So all these guys can proc off of it. But the reason why this is like this, because you're like, well, I'm Digivolving for 3. And you want me to play another 3 cost, so it's going to go over to the opponent's turn when you get that effect. But because he has 1 attacking effect, reveal the top 3. So, different than Zuba. Zuba's the first one only, but this one's top 3. Play a 7 cost or less. And then if you play this guy, or the other 2, his effect goes off. And you get security attack plus 1 and 3k, so he basically turns into a boss monster. And then you could just swing, get some checks off, And then for Brioludra is again the defensive type. So when you use his effect, it makes it so he can't be deleted or returned to owner's hand or deck. He still can get hit with Chaos Degree. That's the only card that can really hit him after that point, but he basically protects himself even more. And then his one Digivolving effect is different, or it's the same when attacking effect he has. It's just for him it's one Digivolving. Top 3, play a 7 cost. So you can just build Ragnalord really fast, and then once you get into Ragnalord, your opponent has to deal with this guy because the inheritables from Duranda, when this Digimon is Ragnalord, doesn't activate security effects of option cards. Option cards are useless. Brioludra. Opponent's turn, when this Digimon is Ragnalord, it isn't affected by opponent's Digimon effects. So your opponent's when Digivolving, on play, attacking, all that stuff does not matter to him. And then his main thing, he has Blitz. You can Digivolve him if you need to. Just hard Digivolve it to gain the Blitz. That's fine. But his when DNA Digivolving, for every 4 Evo cards. Now you see how many Evo cards you can put underneath. You can add to the stacks. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 20 or less. I don't think there's a card that surpassed 20 cost in the game yet. So you can delete any card. And then trash the top card of your opponent's security as well. And again, the effect says for each one at the beginning. So you can trash multiple security stacks as well. So that part's ridiculous. And then the other part, when this card is removed from either player's security, unsuspend once per turn. Swing, you Digivolve into him, use the effect to trash top cards. Swing, his effect unsuspend, or if he's suspended already, unsuspend. Like it's ridiculous. So this deck is about combo chaining and then getting this guy or the other one on the field very fast. And then the best card in the deck is option card. Now I feel like this option card is better than the one in Jesmon one for the decks. Main effect, you can play a 7 cost or less from your hand for free. So you're paying 4 to play a 7, and then the delay, reveal the top 4, place those cards on the top or bottom in any order. You can use this to activate, to set yourself up for when you go into this, when you go into this, when you go into this. So you can set yourself up for the future along with this card. 4 of these, you have to run 4 of these. It's a 4 cost unless you play a 7 cost. You have to run 4 of those. The other cards in the deck are mid. 2 drop, 3k. Commandermon is better. Glidimon, 1 cost Evo. Yeah, it's pretty decent, I guess. Knightmon, vanilla. Direct Smasher, it's the same thing as the other one, basically. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with highest DP. It's a mid card. Yeah, that's quickly just this deck. This is the deck I'm most excited for. And the thing is, you don't even need much to build it. You just need 2 of these starter decks to get everything you need, and then some stuff from the old ones, which are worth cents. So
it kind of has the same problem as Jess does, where you can brick very hard. You can. As you play in the deck, and you can tell that this deck does brick. But if you don't, it's explosive. It's very strong. Your fucking dude is very fucking big and kind of indestructible. There are some ways to kill him, but it's a very good deck. Just kind of runs into the same factor that Jess does, where you kind of need your certain pieces, and if you brick, you kind of lose. Some matchups it also sucks because the deck is very slow. It takes time to get to where you to your big Ragnalord. It takes quite a bit of time, but if you get there, oh lordy, if you get there.
If we get there, he's pretty unstoppable, and you can try to de-digivolve it. It'll just build itself back up again. And then going into the black cards. Now, me and Isaiah are both excited for this deck.
Yeah, it's DarkKnightmon. DarkKnightmon, again, this is another deck we profiled on the channel. So, if you want to see it in action, feel free to watch. We'll just skim through it because we did explain it. Monotamon reveals top 4, adds a Knightmon, Deadly Axe, or anything with Twilight in its traits. This can add your Tamer. This can add any card in your deck pretty much. Very good, very strong. Probably playing it at 4. Spadamon. This card is for Legend Arm and Crossheart. I don't even think you really run this.
You can flex spot in one of them as a flex spot, because he has that on play effect. You can place it under a Legend Arm or Crossheart, Digivolve one, so you can use that to just screw over your opponent if they have a boss monster on the field.
Yeah.
And then it's when attacking is pretty solid. reveal the top 3, add 1 Legend Armor Cross Arbs, place the rest at the bottom. So it's a decent card. I wouldn't run more than 2 in any deck. He's a good extra level 3 to run in Ragnalord if you really want to. It's just there for the option basically.
Sparamon, I think we already.
Yeah,
Sparamon, I think we already talked about.
I mean, Sparamon is strong in the sense that it's always going to be a 5k.
Yeah, we already covered Sparamon. It's a 5k,
Oh,
it's a
nice.
save, it's a reboot, it's very good. You play it at 4. Skull, Mighty Axe Mode. Mighty Axe Mode is good. And again, you can see it in the channel. We did upload it.
Mhm.
He feels top 3. If you Digicross, you can delete one with a play cost of 4 or less. So this get rid of your Psychemons, anything that you're having trouble that's babies, you can just go ahead and kill it. He adds 2. This also counts as a skull and deadly axe, so he's very strong because if you're missing one piece, you can use this as the other. Very good card. Right.
One Piece is real.
Vanilla, High Vision Mononamon. You don't really play this. I don't even.
It's so shit. It's so
I'm sure
shit.
I'm sure it's later and
If it had material save, maybe, but
not even. That probably wouldn't even. Gogamon, I don't understand why, but sure. Assaultmon, again, don't understand, but sure. You have the new DarkKnightmon. This card is, as much as I hate to say, average. It's average.
I feel it's pretty good.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
No, it's not that good.
No,
No.
it's you
It's
still
better
play it.
than the
It's-
old one.
Yeah, 100%. It's better than the old DarkKnightmon, but again, both DarkKnightmons are kind of mediocre. You
Yeah.
Digivolve one of your opponents, then if you Digicross with 2 materials, delete with a 5 or less. Sure, you can't get rid of boss monsters with this. It's okay. It's
I
definitely
mean,
better than the
it
other
is a
one and
4
you don't
drop
need it.
after all, so.
All turns, if you would be deleted, this is very important. If you would be deleted by returning 1 level 4 or lower from his sources, you can play a Skull or Deadly Axe from his sources. So you need 2 in
Without
order
paying
for
a
this
memory
effect.
cost.
Right, you would need to activate this effect. You mainly want to do Mighty Axe mode and then
Use its
Deadly
Digicross.
Axe. So you would put Deadly Axe in your hand and then you play Mighty Axe mode, Digicross, and then search. So you still have a guy on the board, and you keep your presence. Justimon, if you want to just skim through this card real quick.
Yeah,
Sure.
so this card actually completely changes the Justimon deck. So the normal Justimon deck would revolve around you spamming Tamers on the field, going into Justimon, and Justimon's main effect is that his one Digivolving, he has a pick an option from 3 of them. He can unsuspend, give plus 2k to himself, or delete a Digimon with 5 costs or less. So before it was pretty good in the sense that you swing, give it plus 2k, because when attacking lets you activate his one Digivolving for each Tamer you have, so you can activate any of those effects, and as much as you have Tamers. This card makes it so you can loop. It's similar to Sakuyamon, except it has a little bit extra. So it has a little white text. It can 1 cost Digivolve onto Justimon, so that's just a 1 cost easy. And then when Digivolving, you can return a Justimon card other than Critical Arm. Now, other than Critical Arm is going to be important in the later set, but for now it's just so you can return the Justimon you just evolved on. And then you can delete opponent's Digimon with 9 costs or less. It's just a little extra, like, get rid of one of your opponent's Digimon. The main reason you run it is that when attacking effect, if you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon can Digivolve into Justimon for a play cost of 2. You Digivolve into Justimon, activate its when Digivolving effect, unsuspend it, rinse, repeat. So
It's a cycle.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty
just
much
a loop. It's
yeah.
not a loop.
Exactly. It's another loop deck. It's very strong. It's pretty good. It gets a lot better in BT11.
we
But-
completely forgot about this guy.
No, we didn't. We're talking about it now.
Yeah.
So this is the other card that you can play for Jesmon, because it has Real Knights in its trait, and you can put it under Jess to activate effect.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to read its effect, it does so much.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can play
So-
Systemon.
Yep, you play Systemon in its name, and then until the end of your opponent's turn, all your Digimon get plus 2k, so you can make all your Systemons, stronger, because they're going to be a blocker because of the other Systemon.
Which that system
then-
is plus 1,000.
Yep. And then your opponent cannot return any of your cards to your hand or deck, or reduce their DP.
It
Now,
makes your Systemons like just sticky.
yeah,
It's harder
Yeah.
to get rid of.
And it also saves your Jesmon.
Yeah, I feel
yeah.
he's good. So if you want to build a swarm deck, a pure sister swarm deck, he's the guy you want to go into. He makes it so they're all protected. He has blocker himself. The other sistermons are going to give each other blocker. So if you want to go for a full-on iron wall, you go into this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And I
touching
guess we're
on this
getting
guy for Isaiah.
You have Dark Knight X-Antibody. This is the quote-unquote boss monster. This
is
boss
mid.
monster is so mid. It's not
so
that
bad.
good.
It's not even made. It's just bad.
Yeah.
I really felt like they shouldn't give it a 4-cost Evo. It should have been cheaper.
So just to run it
It's
through real quick,
ridiculous.
you can go on top of a DarkKnightmon for 4, return a black or purple from your trash other than himself, and then if he has DarkKnightmon or X-Antibody, you can delete a tamer and unsuspend him. The problem with this card is that he doesn't pop an opponent's Digimon. If you've noticed already, DarkKnightmon doesn't kill opponent's Digimon. So if your opponent has a big ass boss monster, the only thing you can do to stop it is DarkKnightmon to de-digivolve it. Other than that, that's it. Have fun. You can't kill it. You have to rely on your option cards, which that is bad. That's bad deck design. You don't want to do that. You don't want to rely on your option cards to kill something. You want your Digimon to do that. That's why Jesmon is so strong as it is. Because Jesmon has all these effects that can kill your opponent's Digimon with ease. Swing it unsuspended, does piercing, de-digivolve, whatever the case is. This card is mid. You're supposed to pop Nene with it, which Nene, when it dies, it gains 2 memory. And then you unsuspend and swing again. But... and then on deletion, you can play a DarkKnightmon from your trash. You could play the DarkKnightmon that has the Digicross, or you could play the old one, which you can put 2 sources underneath. The deck is it's fine.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
it's just not good.
It's not
like
fast enough. I feel that. I mean, the Digicross. There might be a build out there, but it's just, in my opinion, it's just not fast enough to compete with everything else that's in this format. If this deck was last format, I'd say it'd be decent.
Now we go into the Bagra army. If you're still here after an hour plus,
it's been an hour already.
Yes,
God.
It's been an hour and 6 minutes.
This is it's a podcast. Okay, that's what we're doing. This is a podcast.
I guess so. Just briefly go through the
Ballistamon, pretty good.
Blastmon.
Well,
sorry,
we should touch this after because this card it has an on play, which will confuse people.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the vanillas first. You have Gazimon. If you have 10 or more cards in your trash,
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. In BT11,
It's pretty good because it's all turns. That's why it's good.
Yeah, it's all turns. Yeah, it's not just your opponent's turn.
Soundbird.
So going into the pure like Bagra stuff, Soundbird it isn't a Bagra army card, but it is really good for the deck. It has on deletion save, pretty good. When attacking, place 1 card from your hand under one of your tamers, draw 1.
You have to play this at 4.
You have to play this at 4, yes. Because Ewin, your Bagra army tamer, this guy's absurd. This guy, if you don't see him in the entirety of the game, you lost. You need this card for the Bagra army deck to function. So he has the all turns. When a card is placed underneath it, gain a memory, draw 1. That's the main effect. That's the effect that makes it so it's your turn always. And then he has the other effect. When you play a level 4 or higher Bagra army, you can place up to 3 from under any of your tamers with purple Digimon to reduce the play cost by 2 for each. So that's why the Bagra stuff has on plays. So you can reduce it. If you have multiple Ewins, you can activate all of them. If you have multiple sources, if you have more than 3, you can activate 2 Ewins, and that's 6 sources you can add underneath to reduce it by 2 for each. It's just it's swarmed the board, but with Digimon that have opponent turn effects. So you got Shoutmon. Phil can quickly describe that one.
Digimon, another one that you play at 4. On play to your searcher, you add any origami, and then you add your tamer as well, and then you place the bottom of the bottom of your deck, and then on deletion, obviously save, and then opponent's turn. The inheritable is when digivolving.
When the Digimon trash,
yeah, just trash you gain a memory. That's most. I think all of them have that.
Every single one of them have that because of the main effects or the opponent turns effects of your other guys. You got Damemon. Damemon is really nice at the beginning of the game. On play, if you don't have a U,
or digivolving.
We keep calling him Ewin. That's his English name. His Japanese name is U. If you have a U in play, play it without paying its cost. If you have one in play, you can't use that effect, but it's still pretty good. I feel right now every single Bagra army except for your boss monster you run at 4. I feel like you have to. Troopmon, this guy's really nice.
I love the art.
Yeah,
I love
art's
the
pretty
art so
nice,
much.
yeah. He has the opponent's turn. When your opponent plays a Digimon or Tamer, trash one of the evolution sources to gain a memory. So as you saw, the sources have, when trashed, gain a memory. So you can gain 2 memory off of this guy when your opponent plays a Digimon or Tamer. Again, this deck is your turn the deck.
Yep.
And then on deletion, save. And then
Yep.
this
And then
guy.
same inheritable.
Yep. This guy, very, very essential. 4 of 100%. He has the opponent's turn. He has a Digicross first off. He can Digicross with a Bagra army, so you can make him you can make him a 3-cost, and then you can use Ewan to reduce it even more if you really want to. And then he has the when the number of cards in your opponent's hand increase by an effect, by trashing one of the evolution cards, your opponent has to trash cards equal to the amount that they increased it by. So say that card from the Alphamon deck that lets you draw for each evolution source. So I draw 7 cards. If you do that while this guy's on the field, you now have to trash 7 cards.
Yeah, he's pretty good against the Digimon, where if you have a lot of Digimon on board, you draw 1. So you draw 1 for his effect. Assuming Bagra has 2 on board, you draw 3, and then this guy now makes it so that you gained a memory for me drawing 3, and now I have to get rid of 3 cards because of this guy.
Yeah, very absurd. And then
he has the Digicross too, which is really good.
Yeah, and then on deletion save. Gulis, the Gamamon deck. Don't really touch him. Flavor card. Skull Bellucci. Isaiah can talk about this guy a little bit.
Oh yeah, Isaiah loves this card.
I can't wait. Zombie deck. Wait for the channel. I'm not gonna say much about it. The channel's gonna have this deck showcased. This card is titty.
Yes, there it is.
This card is so gas. Very, very good. When you pitch it, you pretty much evolve from your trash. So again, we'll get to it later in the channel. You'll see it there for sure. Give it time. We'll go into the now Bowlmon.
Yeah, but it's a Beelzemon support card. It says Bagra Army. You don't run it in Bagra Army. It's really bad if you run it in Bagra Army.
It's not.
It's more of a Beelzemon support card. Just trash top 3, and then on deletion 10 or more, play a Beelzemon for free. And then we already talked about how mid this guy is. Minervamon.
And then Beelzemon.
Well, let's get to that because that's a whole other deck. Let's talk about Tactimon.
Tactimon, your boss monster for Bagra Army, since Bagra is not a thing yet. He has the on-play effect. You may play up to 2 level 4s from your trash. They gain blocker. Now, the other thing, the big part of his effect, when other Digimon's evolution cards will be trashed, trash his instead. So you're using Ewan's effect. You're putting all these sources underneath him. They all have that gain 1 memory when trash effect. And then you're playing 2, preferably 2 of him, or a mix. And then you have their effects going off, because since you hard play them, they don't have evolution sources, but you're using his evolution sources instead. And then they're also blockers. So you're essentially recycling with that. And then we're gonna talk about this one right now.
Real quick, Gulis Gamamon, that's for the Gamamon deck. It gains Retaliation.
Oh, we talked to you.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's
Alright,
out.
well, Phil, have fun. Minerva Loop.
Minervamon Loop.
This deck right here is...
This card is amazing, and I love it, and I'm going to play it so hard. I'm going to play it so many times. I'm going to play it every day.
How hard?
What? So, she has Retaliation, just cause. And then... Do I just explain the whole loop?
Go for it.
Alright, so basically what you do is... Basically what you do is you go into your Servicemon. When you're in your Servicemon, you have Servicemon, you have Servicemon Werewolf mode. So you're just gonna hard play your Werewolf mode and pop your Servicemon, gain a 9 memory back, and then you go into her and you add 2 of the 2 or less Digimon in play. You may play 1 purple level 5 or lower Digimon. So you go back into your Servicemon, and then you have Servicemon in your hand by activating the option card. I forgot the name of the option card, but it's from a really old set. You activate it, you pop Minervamon, and you literally just keep doing the same thing because you're just always gaining 9 memory because of Werewolf mode, and he has Rush. So
it basically uses that Werewolf engine, the Werewolf mode engine, and then runs it like tenfold. This deck is gonna be one of the top tier decks, I feel.
I also.
And then going into
Omnimon.
this
Jesmon
behemoth.
we already talked about.
Wait, no, we didn't.
Yep,
We didn't touch
and
this
then-
card at all.
Who?
Omnimon X-Ante.
Oh no, I'm talking about we talked about Sistermon already.
Oh yeah,
We're
no,
going to
System
Omnimon
yeah,
next.
System
Yeah.
we talked about. Yeah, no,
So,
X-Ante,
this-
this behemoth.
To all
You
of
have to
my
pick this up.
Yeah,
Pick
to
this
all of
up.
my
Everybody
JOF
pick this up.
viewers, if you are still here, I need you to do me a favor and pick this card up. This card
Not
is
now, not pre-release, but when it comes out.
Yeah, of course. But this card's gonna be super insane. This card is a behemoth. Behemoth. This card is so dumb. When you would Digivolve, when a Digimon with X-Antibody and its sources would Digivolve, reduce it by 2. That's the
Also, you can go top
The
your
option
Omnimon
card,
for
yeah.
3.
You can all go,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you have that along with a Digimon with X-Ante and its sources, it's a 1-cost Evo on Omnimon. Jesus Christ. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, when Digivolving, return all of your opponents with the highest level to the bottom of the owner's deck. And
Fun.
this effect alone is super strong. Because this
Yep.
effect, if your opponent has a bunch of level 6s, they all go. Bunch of level 5s, they all go. If one level 6, all 5s, they all go. This card is extremely strong against a lot of certain decks. Bloomlord being one, Jess being one,
Mhm.
Crossheart being one. This deck is extremely strong. The fact that it puts it on the bottom of the deck, for Crossheart, all those sources, they're gone. They can't save any of it because it didn't die. For Bloomlord, my boss monster, it's gone. It does. If your opponent doesn't have the materials to make another Bloomlord, this card can win games by itself.
And then
And
he
then
has
just-
the first of ability in all of Digimon.
Yeah, by placing
This
one
is
X-Antibody or level
So
6
toxic.
from this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards at the bottom of the deck. Reveal all of your opponent's security, trash one, put it all
You
face
get to
down.
look at your opponent's security.
This
You
card
get
is
to look
extremely
at the
strong.
Gaia Force in the security and say, gone.
Against
Bye.
security control, this card is strong. This
And you
card
get to
is
pick
extremely
any
strong.
card from it. It's not a Digimon or option card or any.
Yep.
It's any card
Any
in security. You can
Exactly.
trash it.
The unfortunate part is your opponent does get to shuffle it back afterwards, but you do know
Who
what's in there
cares?
now.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
you
You
know
know
what's
what's
in
in their
there.
security. You have so much information on their security, which can win games. If you know your
It really
opponent's
can.
security is dog shit,
Rush.
and after playing
Rush
this
them
card,
down.
you rush them.
Yeah.
If your opponent's security is strong, you play more careful. If your opponent's playing security control and you see that there's a lot of cards that's a problem, you know which card you need to take off. And
I
be
hate
wary of.
security control.
I hate security control. I always will hate security control. This card is extremely strong, guys. If
Yep.
you are picking up the set, please pick up a play set. I guarantee you will not regret it. It's a very good card for this meta.
Mhm.
And then we
Even future metas.
we already briefly talked about all the tamers. There's only one tamer we didn't talk about, which is Rui. Again, the whole Minervamon deck, mid.
Yeah, it doesn't really need to talk about it.
Quickly going over these option cards.
They're all not good.
Yeah, we got Breakclaw. This is
The
good for
only good
Gamma
one is
deck.
like Blazing Memory Boost.
Heroes of the Sky is
and-
pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. 2
All
cost.
right.
Whatever.
So let's just Breakclaw. This is for the Gammamon deck. Again, it doesn't matter now. The card's not that good. You can put a Gammamon underneath it, draw 1 game +2. Sure. Hero of the Skies. You might see this in Crossheart, maybe not. If you have a Shoutmon ×5, you gain security attack +1 and draw 2. The draw 2 is the most important part. But again, I feel like you would just play Fireball. Fireball gets rid of a Sakuyamon if you can't, and then still draw 2 if you didn't pop
Yes.
anything.
And for the security attack, you could run Fire Rocket. It's a 1 cost security attack if you have a dual color, which the Shoutmon Evo sources are, or
Yeah.
evolutions are. So you can activate that.
Burning Star Crusher. This card,
Shit.
I don't think you're gonna play it.
Shit,
This
awful.
card
It's
This
good,
card's
yeah.
mid.
Blazing
Blazing
Memory
Memory-
Boost is
This is the most ridiculous option
you
card in the deck.
lust.
I hate this card. I wish it gets dropped.
This card is insane. Viewers, reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. Add 2 with Blue Flare among them and play a Kiriha.
This is a 5-drop, by the way.
Yes, and then you get to main delay gain 2 memory. So
So
usually how you want to start
So
is you want to, in the best case scenario, go Gaussmon, which is that level 3 in your sources, and just play this. You don't care if your opponent has the memory. Sure. You reveal the top
gain
6,
so much
add
out of
2,
it that it doesn't
and
matter.
play your Kiria. You have so much advantage just with this card alone. It's searchable
Okay.
because it has the blue flare and
Gave
the
it
trait.
trait. I don't
It's
know why they gave
searchable. I
it the
forgot about
trait.
that. I forgot you can search this
There is
card.
no doubt about you play 4 of this card. If any deck is not playing 4 of this card, you don't have to worry about it. The deck is shit. This card you definitely play 4 of. It is extremely strong.
And then we got the Deckardra launcher.
This card's not bad. In a
It's
sense, you
alright.
kind of could just play Cocytus.
It's a cheaper Cocytus.
It's the same
It's
price.
the same. It's the same.
No,
If you have
it can get
more-
reduced.
Sure. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, sure, yeah.
The problem is it has to be 6 or higher. So in a sense, your 5s, your Metal Gray can handle, and then this will handle 6 and more. But just play Kakaitis.
The security effect is pretty good though.
Yeah.
But let's play Kakaitis.
Healing
Kakaitis.
therapy. This card's eh.
What
It's
of your
good for the
Everything
memes
else,
deck.
everything else is bad. Buzzing Fist is good though.
Oh, that's pretty far down. These 2 cards are for the Pulsemon deck. You can look over that if you really want to. And Gormon
all
gets
these
a
are bad.
stupid card. Bloomlord gets a pretty decent card.
Thing is, you kind of don't necessarily have to play it. You can play HPD. You don't really care because you just want to be aggressive as fast as possible. You don't really care for this. You can play it at 1 or 2, but
Immortal
Ruler.
Ruler.
Don't worry about it.
Decent card, not the greatest. This is essential for Sakuyamon players. Have to play this card. This card is ridiculous.
Yeah, blocker reboot, and it can't be affected by your opponent's effects.
Mhm.
It's pretty good.
Justice Kick mid card. It's just a deletion card for the Justimon set.
Like Phil said, Buzzing Fist is dumb.
This card run 4 on Bagra Army. It lets you reveal top 3, add 1 with Bagra to your hand, trash them, and then any from your trash you can place under one of your tamer.
That trashing effect is what really makes it even better.
It builds up your trash. It's a 2 cost that mills 3s essentially if you're not running a Bagra deck.
You have Def the Cannon. This card is mid. Just wait till we get the Beelzemon support. For now, don't worry about it. Upgrade plugin. Oh,
Sakuyamon players run this card. This lets you hit over your opponent's boss monsters because Sakuyamon is weak.
Yep. You have Seiken Mappa.
Yeah, we talked about this card already.
Yep.
The one card we didn't talk about is Kingver, the most mid card in all of Crossheart.
The 2 secrets in the set, I don't really like them. I don't. I'm gonna be honest.
GX is pretty decent. This card, I wish it was better. It can become a 3 cost. It has a Digicross. On play, return 1 from your trash, 1 crosshair from your trash. That has Digicross requirements, so you can return your times 5 or times 4, and then it has the effect where if you use it, like if you Digicross with this turn, he can supplement as one of your sources. So say you're missing the Starmons for one of your sources, he can be a Starmons. The thing is, like, you have to hard drop him for 3 in order to get that effect. So you're not gonna have enough memory to do much with it anyways. It's a one of. It's a tech card. I wouldn't run it any more than that. I felt like it should have been a 0 cost Evo on Shoutmon, and then it would have been decent.
Alright, 0 cost.
Anyway.
It's a form swap. It's a 0. You tell me and you look at Jesmon.
You don't need more support for the cross deck.
You have more than enough.
Do we want to talk about Jesmon again?
It's the best deck in the format, Jeremy. We know this.
This is a 0 cost.
Who cares?
Anyway, guys,
you still have the
that
best
was
deck.
our opinion on the BT10 and the starter decks.
So real quick before we go, Jeremy, can you say the decks you're gonna play in BT10?
If
they haven't noticed already.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be playing Bagra Army. I'm gonna be playing Crossheart. I'm gonna be playing Justimon, and I'm gonna be playing Ragnalord.
And Isaiah's.
I'm gonna be picking up the Blue Flare deck. Definitely seems like a lot of fun. Bloomlord, Dark Knight probably, and then of course that Scobalucci because Scobalucci is broken. Just wait for that profile.
Yep. And then I'm going to be playing, obviously, Jesmon. I'm going to be playing Minervamon Loop. And I'm most likely going to try out the Bagra Army as well. Only because I really like purple decks.
Yeah, just real quick going into this format. Again, wideboard format. We're leaving OTK for a little bit. Some OTK decks are still going to be relevant, but most OTK decks aren't going to be relevant anymore because...
I'll be honest, it really depends on the ban list.
Yeah.
It depends on the ban list to see how this...
It's going to be the same though, so...
Yeah. If, like... Because in Japan, Alphamon was a really big deal, but in English format over here, the Metal Guru X-Antibody is the biggest problem. So
I understand why. Like, the deck is just good.
Right. It totally seems fair to me. But
it is.
It depends how they want to do their ban list. But just keep in mind that there is still OTK decks. So just play around it. Try your best.
And yeah, that's the little introduction to the set that's coming out in a few weeks. I know it did get delayed for the English.
Please.
So it kind of did suck a bit. We got a little delay on our pre-release and our release day, but what can you do? At least it's not a month.
It is what it is. It's not the Yu-Gi-Oh community where Yu-Gi-Oh just completely disrespects their players and say, "Oh, a ban list is coming." A month later, we still have heard nothing.
Yeah.
But we won't talk about that.
At least they're giving us info on it. Yeah. At least
But,
they're keeping us updated. But yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video.
Yeah, if you guys are still watching, thank you so much.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep. This is our first video with all of us together. Expect more. If you guys like the podcast, go ahead and leave us a next topic we could talk about for sure. And other than that, thank you.
Peace.
See you guys on the next one.
Peace. Adios.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.